Hi, James here with the 1hoursmarthome.com, and today we are going to teach you how to wire up a humidifier with your Nest thermostat. So what we've got here today is two wiring diagrams, one for a traditional humidistat setup that you probably already have if you've got a humidifier in your house, and the other one is how you need to wire your humidifier if you're going to attach it to Nest thermostat. So there are a lot of people that have a Nest thermostat and a humidifier, and maybe you connected the Nest thermostat and you don't know how to connect the humidifier, or you're looking for information, or maybe you got stuck, or maybe you just left the old humidistat on there to control the humidifier, which is fine. It'll still work with a Nest thermostat and an old humidistat. But if you want to have everything in one place, you want to get rid of that old humidistat and just have the nice clean look of the Nest, that's what we're going to teach you how to do today. We're going to teach you how you need to wire up your humidifier so that it'll work with your Nest thermostat. So to understand how to wire this up, you kind of have to understand a little bit of the basics of how your humidifier and humidistat are currently wired. So what we've got here is just a drawing of an HVAC system and kind of how a typical humidistat is wired. So what you've got is a humidifier, a humidistat in your HVAC system, and then some wiring. So most humidifiers are powered by a plug that plugs in somewhere near your furnace. So that's the 120 volt that runs the actual fan. But they have a little valve in them or a contact that then turns on either the fan or opens up a valve to let water into the humidifier, so then it will then flow throughout your HVAC system. So how that works is you have two wires on your humidistat, and it's a very simple system. Basically what you have is one wire coming from the R, which is power, that goes through your humidifier. R goes over here up to the humidistat and then goes back down on another wire which is connected to C. And these are the terminals inside your HVAC system. And how it works is when the humidistat detects a certain humidity, or you want to set it to a certain humidity, that will close this circuit and it will allow the valve or relay here to turn on your humidifier. So it's just think of the humidistat as an on-off switch, basically. Once it reaches a certain level, it will turn off, and when it detects the humidity is too low, it will turn on your humidifier, and it's just a very simple circuit. R, providing power to the valve or the relay, goes through here. Once this closes, because it detects the humidity is too low, then you have a completed circuit. It will turn on the humidifier, and that power flows back to the C wire. Now, here's the thing. The Nest only needs one wire to work with the humidifier. So this setup that you've already got, you're like, okay, I got two wires, but I only have one terminal on the Nest for a humidifier. How do I do that? Well, that's what we're going to get into. So on the Nest, there's a variety of different terminals. We've kind of abbreviated them here, but the terminal that you use for your humidifier is the star terminal, okay? And there's a setting within the Nest that will allow you to pick what the star terminal is for once you've got it set up and the wire actually plugged in there. But with the Nest humidifier, because the Nest is already getting power, it already has power coming in from your RH or R wire or RC wire in that terminal. All you have to do to complete the circuit for the humidifier to turn it on is provide power back down that terminal and then back down to the C. You just have to complete a power loop that goes through your humidifier down to your C. So how you have to have it wired is you have one wire coming from the star, going down to that valve on your humidifier or the contact or relay down on the humidifier, and then on the other side of that valve or contact, you need the wire to go from the humidifier down to your C terminal. And what we're doing is we're just creating a loop here between the R wire to the star terminal. When the humidifier is activated on the Nest, the power will then go down the star terminal. It will activate the humidifier, and then from there, that power has a path to go back to the terminals inside your HVAC system, the C terminal. So the R wire, you don't have to run an extra R wire. Everything shown in the dotted lines is what a typical Nest thermostat wiring is. The R wire is power. You're gonna have that regardless for the power of the thermostat to operate at just normal heating and cooling mode. So all these other wires, RH, that's your power, G is your fan wire, Y is your AC wire, and W1 is your heat wire. And those are shown in dotted lines because those are part of your thermostat system that you would have regardless of this humidifier connection. And of course, those wires all then go back to the wiring terminals in your HVAC system. So it's actually really simple to install a Nest thermostat with a humidifier. It's just that there's a lot of confusing information out there, and you start with 2 wires and you really go down to 1. So you kind of have to understand how it works in order to make this happen. So it may very well be that you have a wire that's already wired up like this R wire here on your humidistat. You'll be able to tell because they're going to be different colors, the R and the C wire that go to your humidifier terminals in your humidistat. Sometimes the easiest thing to do rather than mess with this other wire is just take your R wire that's coming from your humidifier, switch it over to the C, and then take that same wire, the R wire that you found, and put it on the star terminal there. So you may actually have to move these over. Everyone's humidifier is wired a little bit different, but the circuitry for a humidifier is the same. These things are powered externally by 120 volts to move the motors and everything, but the relay and contact is low voltage inside, or the little valve that opens the water up for your humidifier. So all you really need to do is make sure that you have a circuit for power for the humidifier. So just like we've shown, power's coming in R, that's your normal thermostat power wire, and it goes back out through the humidifier. You just need to make sure that when you have your humidifier set up, that this wire provides a continuous circuit down to the C wire so that when power is sent from the Nest to the humidifier, it has a place to go from the humidifier backed out to the C wire to complete a circuit. So the Nest, when it calls for humidity, it will actually send a signal, a power signal, 24 volts, down this humidifier wire. Otherwise, it's unpowered until there's a call for humidity. So once you've got it set up, you can test it by turning the humidity up way up to, like 60% or whatever it is. The maximum limit is on the Nest. You can go stand by your humidifier, and typically you'll hear either a fan click on or you'll hear the valve click when you're doing it. So that's a good way to check what's going on. You could also use a multimeter for all this to check continuity and where the wires go, but that's a little bit more complicated. It's easy enough if you just follow the wires that you've got here in your existing humidistat and then convert that over to the wiring diagram that I've got shown here for the new Nest humidifier. So we hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to this channel. We got all kinds of great smart home content. You can also visit us at onehoursmarthome.com. Check out our website and click on any links below if you want to support us. That's always very helpful to help us keep making you great channels, give you good content, and we hope this helped you. If you have a Nest common wire issue or any kind of Nest wiring diagram issues or a Nest Hello and you want to learn how to do that, please click on some of our other videos. We've got some great information there that'll show you how to do that. So thank you, like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.